Good morning, everyone on this YouTube channel or who comes across this video. This is a personal regarding my spiritual journey over the last couple of years and all the diving into myself and figuring things out, opening up my creativity through art, which is what my guides requested me to do. So that's kind of what I did. This here is about a book I was going to write, but I kind of changed my mind and decided to do a storytelling instead. And this, I think most people are kind of reflecting over their lives right now due to the COVID and everybody being stuck at home and not able to do a lot of things. So how I'm going to start this off is how I titled 5 significant relationships I've had since I was a teenager until my current adult life at 51 years of age. And what I made a aha moment, or a connected all the dots together and figured something out about my life that has taken me a very, very long time to learn this lesson. And that's okay. At least I have got it, and now I get to move to the next level. So it's quite enjoyable, but it is something that really was shocking when I figured it out. And I actually was almost dumbfounded, and I don't know what else to call it, but here goes. So let me also do a little preface in regards to trust. Trust is developed with a child when they are from the ages of 0 to 7. So in my book, I did not develop trust with any human being between the ages of 0 to 7. Many of you probably know my history in regards to that, but I did not get adopted until I was 7. So I was already past 7 years of age when I got a stable family and home. So trust was something that to me was earned. It wasn't something that was just given freely, or that because I had never developed instant trust with anyone. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and start with this. But this starts at about 15, 16 years of age. And when I had my, most young kids have their first love, so to speak. But at that time, my dream, my purpose in life, and my dream at that age was to build a halfway house for runaway teens. I had planned to get my PhD in psychology, and I was going to be a live-in home with a big home. I remember I'd already picked out the house, and I remember my dad saying the house would have to be torn down and be rebuilt. It was this old plantation house out on this country place that was it was absolutely amazing home. But it had been abandoned for years and the city owned it. But needless to say, that didn't dream happen. That's okay. We always build new ones as we go through life. And now I'm working on something that I think is a little bit even better than that. But, the first love I called, it gave the heart a little tear. Okay? So that's how I'm naming that. And I'm not going to give a story in regards to a specific into each relationship. I'm going to give you a full story at the end. The second one, I call it a crack. It got a crack. So it has a tear and a crack now. The third relationship received a fracture. So we've got a tear, a crack, and then a fracture. And then the fourth relationship I had was a shatter. Yeah. Fifth one, I call it was crushed. So at this point in my life, I think I was 49, I'm like, all right, I've got to do a complete overhaul of myself and figure out what is going on. So the last 2 years, and I was brutally kicked into my awakening, which is a good thing. I can say at about this time period in 2006, I got a copy of the Gospels of St. Thomas. And I was running around trying to talk to everybody about that book, and nobody would listen to me. So I kind of went back into a sleeping pattern, is what I would call it, and continued on in my relationships until the last relationship that kind of blew everything up, turned what I call my world upside down. In either case, I'm going to tell you, when I was looking at myself, I'm like, you know, every time I've been in a relationship, I'm always trying to fix people. Well, you know, I know people can't. People have to fix themselves. You know, you can't fix anybody. Everybody has to make the choice that they want to change. I was a people pleaser. I was overgiving. You know, I ended up having low confidence, low self-esteem. You know, I was, you know, ended up developing jealousy in my relationship. You know, and what I ended up finding is that in all these patterns, there was cheating, addictions, there was control, secrets, physical abuse, mental abuse, gaslighting, narcissistic behaviors, selfishness, anger, pridefulness, and betrayal and judgmental. And I was like, man, what am I missing? I was like, why? And what I found out is I was attracting those people because I did not have boundaries. I did not have solid boundaries in place. And the reason I was so giving people chances and second chances, and 3 of these out of the 5 relationships, I went back to the partners, you know, and it was like, and it was just a vicious cycle all over again. And then I realized all these things that I was doing, you know, people pleasing, overgiving, you know, trying to like also control my environment a little bit, or what little control I thought I had, versus because there were no boundaries, being controlled. When I reflected it back and reflected all these things, I also realized what these people were reflecting in lessons I was learning were things that needed to be healed in me from the inside, from my very young childhood. And, you know, it also taught me the negative thinking and negative speaking of people and back and forth. And it created this lack, or this, then overthinking becomes this self-sabotaging type behavior. I was always chasing love, chasing it. And what I realized is it was the wrong direction. You know, I was always looking for the love outside of me. So that is where I am at, what I call now, complete in my self-love. That I am now, instead of putting these energies on to other people, the energy now goes back to me. And what I also found is you can heal within yourself, but I have found, you know, until you merge yourself, your male, your female, balance all that within yourself, until you get your wholeness, then you can add in the divine relationship that you're going for. But you must have your self-love and love yourself before you get to this stage. And it just, you know, there's so many of us I know that are always wanting to people please, overgive, and you know, then you, when things happen in a relationship, what ends up happening is you then, you know, somebody starts yelling negatively at you, you give it back. It becomes this, I don't know what you call it, but it was my error for looking outside myself for the love that was always there and present within me. And the love that I was searching for was actually the love inside me from spirit. It was there the whole time, and I didn't recognize it because I did not have my passion of service to help others in a healthy way. And that is where, you know, it is back to reclaiming the I am and letting go and surrendering all of this past negative relationships, negative everything. And at that point, all I have left in me now is that unconditional love, the compassion, and the forgiveness of self, that I allowed myself to go through all this stuff, and understanding of, you know, relationships and how they work, and understanding the boundaries. And, you know, now I have quite heavy boundaries, but until I can build up that trust and rapport, you know, there's no reason for me to go any further, you know. And so I am now giving myself that love and that confidence and that self-esteem back to be the wholeness of who I am and chasing my dreams. And that is where I'm at right now. And I have another painting I'm going to put up in the next video. The next video is quite remarkable because it is going to be me explaining the world that I see and want to help co-create with the universe. And I've been working on this vision for, you know, a good 18 months and holding that vision, and I have already released it. And I know my vision will